Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, glad you could join us again today. We're talking about what is Christian nationalism a good thing. We read Genesis 1:26 yesterday and emphasizing the part, and I'll just quote that part today. Let them have dominion. God said, let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them have dominion. Where we concluded yesterday was there was a while back a panelist on, I believe it was MSNBC, and they were discussing Christian nationalism. And this panelist, she said, Christian nationalists believe that their rights come from God and not the government. Well, I'll be honest with you, it was at that point that I decided, well, if this is how you're going to define Christian nationalism, then I is one. I am, in that sense, a Christian nationalist. I believe, just like the Declaration of Independence declares, that we are all created equally and are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. And if you would, I've heard other people use this. I don't know who the first one was, but from that, I would much rather be a Christian nationalist than a atheistic globalist from that standpoint. If you're going to contrast those extremes, yes, I believe in Jesus and I love America. If that makes me a Christian nationalist, then okay, fine. Because I love God, I love my nation. And really, again, I referenced this yesterday, Senator Josh Hawley did an excellent discourse on Christian nationalism and some of the history that is behind what people are now calling Christian nationalism. It wasn't the name of it for so long. But from that standpoint, Genesis 1:26 says, let them have dominion. You see, the application of biblical principles to government is what led our founding fathers. It led people, the Reformation in Europe led people to begin to take the Word of God, apply it to government, and it led to basically democratic republic governments, democratically elected representatives. Christian nationalism, from that standpoint, is responsible for our form of government, for all of us having rights, not being under a dictator, not being under a king or a queen, not being under an oligarchy, but it is a recognition of individuals, Genesis 1:26, having dominion, that we have an authority, we have a jurisdiction, we have a legal right to say about what's happening. Christian nationalism, if you would, is a good thing from this perspective. If that's how they're going to label the biblical application of government, then at that point, yes, it is a good thing. It has given us representative government. It has given us separation of powers. The book of Isaiah is what inspired them to the separation of powers. With this, you get to understand, and in all honesty, this is a part of the attack of the purpose behind Christian nationalism. If Christian nationalists believe that God gave our rights and not the government, and that being a bad thing in their minds, then the overwhelming majority of our founding fathers were Christian nationalists because they wrote it in the Declaration of Independence. God bless you. Talk to you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Ecclesia Principles with Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.